Hello my fellow nerds, my name is Jamie and I'm just trying to live my best nerd life. Now then, let's talk about Pokemon, and more specifically, the lack of the national dex in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now let's get one thing sorted straight away. I don't really have a problem with the fact that you can't get every Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. I've played Pokemon Shield, I've done all the gyms, I've done pretty much all the story, I've done kind of the end game stuff, and overall I enjoyed the game. I've got about 250 or so of the available Pokemon there. I've still got plenty more to go. I'm fine with that. And even though some of my favourite Pokemon weren't in this game, I don't really have a problem with it. Because in my mind, just like in real life, not every single Pokemon is going to be in every single game, every single region. This is like part of a bigger problem that I have with the Pokemon series. Like every single game is just a different region with different like gimmicks. Like one game had like Gigantamaxing or whatever it is, and Z moves or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's fine, and if people enjoy that kind of stuff, that's also fine. But for me, I want a bit of a more meatier game. If you're not going to include every single Pokemon in a specific region, or not let people have access to every single Pokemon in every single region, and have regional dexes, for example, then personally, I want something bigger where there's more regions. Like, for example, my favourite game is Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold, because they are remakes of Gold and Silver, which, to be honest, I think that was like the peak. Like, Gold and Silver was a peak of the Pokemon series, then kind of went downhill a little bit, then hit another peak with Gold and Silver, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Because, and this is a pretty big thing for me, you could go to different regions. Like, you could play through in Johto, you could do all the Elite Four, get all the badges, collect tons and tons of Pokemon, and then after the Elite Four, this whole new region opens up, and you could go and see another region and kind of have that end game where it's a whole nother adventure. It was this kind of cohesive, living, breathing world, and your reward is being able to explore this whole new world, this whole new region. That was fantastic. Whole new Pokemon, new trainers, all that kind of stuff. And that was in one single game. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't have to pay another 40, 50, 60 pounds to go to another region. You had both these things you could go to. You could go back and forth. It wasn't even like they locked out the last region. You could go between the two. You could go on the train, you could go on the boat. It was great. The only thing they needed was like some kind of aeroplane flight going through. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was fantastic. And the Pokemon Company just seemed to have kind of not wanted to do that. They've continued to kind of expand ever outward, introducing new mechanics and new Pokemon, and just kind of, okay, it's great to like build, expand the universe. Like, why not improve what you have by making a game where you can travel to different regions? Like, I know why they're not doing something like that. It's because it takes more development time, and they just want to churn games out like every 1 or 2 years, all that kind of stuff. It's going in a cycle like that, and fair enough if they want to do that. Like, I still enjoy the games, like, I'm still going to buy them, kind of. I didn't play any of the Sun and Moons, I kind of skipped over that, but you know what I mean, like, I don't have any real problem with Sword and Shield. It's just kind of this overlying thing that I have a problem with the whole franchise. This is going to be a weird analogy, but like, think about Skyrim, and think about how many hours that people have put into Skyrim. 200 hours, 300 hours. There's so much content in there that people can just play it for years, and I know they're not going to do that because it's like they just want to sell games. But like, if you want to do that, that's fine, but like, just make something that's a bit chunkier, a bit meatier, that people if they want, can sink a lot of hours into it. Like, I'm not talking about like quests and Radiant AI or whatever, just something that's bigger, you know what I mean? Not just focusing on one region, even if it's like based on routes like all the old games were, instead of having the wild area. Just think about that, like you can be in the Johto region, and if you want you can take a plane to Galar, you know what I mean? Like, and then if you want to go from there to somewhere else, you can do. Like, there's so much in this world now. There's been years and years and years of this kind of constant development and world building, and I just don't think we're seeing enough of that world. It's so big now. Like, you know what I mean? And I understand that it's not like Breath of the Wild or anything like that, because in Breath of the Wild there are assets that have been duplicated and changed slightly so that it looks bigger than it is, that it looks more densely packed than it is. But seriously, I just think something like that would be absolutely fantastic. I've just taught myself, like hyped myself up so much into wanting this game. And yeah, I understand that it takes time, and like even if it cuts corners where like the Pokemon aren't roaming anymore, stuff like that, just something that is bigger in scope and bigger in scale. Jam as much stuff into that game as you can, so that people who really enjoy Pokemon and people who just, you know, like Pokemon can have something that's really meaty to get their teeth into. Like, I understand that there's so many things that need to go into a game like that with such vastness. Like, there's so many Pokemon that need animating and all this kind of stuff. Like, there's over 1,000 Pokemon now and all that. But just spend some time making something like that, and that would be absolutely fantastic. I know they're not going to hear me talking about it, but you know what I mean? Just, it'd be so fantastic. And yeah. Anyway, that was me talking about a potential future game. Tell me guys, what do you think? Do you agree with what I've said? Do you want a big, massive, not open world, but just something that's a bit more bigger in scale than just one particular region? Or do you want another game that is kind of bigger in scale but in one region, so you have a lot more detailed, explorable landscape, I'll say, in a particular region? Let me know in the comments below, and if you did enjoy this video, then by all means like, comment and subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thanks for your time guys.